One. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell. Thanks for joining us today. Well, we've got a really exciting PGA tour to break down. It was the first week of the Fedex Cup playoffs, and wow, it was a very spectacular performance by one guy, and we're going to be able to talk tons about Dustin Johnson this week. Man, wow, he struggled a little bit this year. He had a win since the restart, but he got two 80s on the Memorial, and he pulled out of the 3M Open with an apparent injury. But this weekend, oh my God, he had it together. We have Casey O'Donnell joining us as usual to break it down. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining us today, Casey. I'm sure you enjoyed the golf as much as we did. Yeah, how are you? How was your weekend?
Hey Darren, yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, what an incredible start to the playoffs. Yeah, DJ just going solo. The whole week was just incredible. Great golf out there.
Yeah. I mean, there's pretty much just one name that we have to, talk about. It'll be hard to, talk about too many others when you shoot 30 under. It's, Dustin Johnson and Dustin Johnson. Oh my God. I think we could probably wrap up this podcast in a couple minutes and just say, yeah, thanks, Dustin. What an incredible tournament. Yeah, once he got shot that 60, it seemed like there was nothing stopping him. Scott Scheffler got the 59, and then Dustin Johnson came out. He was -6 after 4 holes on Friday, and then he was 10 under after 10, 11 under after 11, and you're thinking, oh my God, this could be absolutely epic. And then he ends up parring the last 7 holes, which shocked everybody. And, could you be disappointed with a 60? I don't think you should, you can't. But, man, he just continued keeping that pedal to the metal and ended up shooting a 30 under 11 stroke victory. This is the first more than 10 shot victory we've seen in a decade. Yeah, there's just nothing that could derail Dustin Johnson. He got 5 eagles. That was more than he only got 3 bogeys on the whole tournament. Just a masterful performance by a guy getting his 22nd win. Yeah, it was just so fun to see a guy that's that dialed in.
Yeah, absolutely. He was driving that ball unreal. His iron play. He even hit a few draws into some of those pins, which he fades it all the time. So he's that confident just to draw it into a few of those pin positions, just unreal. The height he was hitting those iron shots in, just getting them hit and stick on a par 5 even. That's going to lead to, like you said, he's got 5 eagles on the week, which is incredible. That 60, he had 2 eagles in the first 4 holes. Just lighting it right up. And he even said if he putted a little bit better, like the first round, he just didn't quite have it. +1 on that opening 9, and then goes out and shoots 31 under for the rest of the week. Just incredible performance.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely spectacular, and you just love when a guy's that dialed in at golf. It just seems like it's an easy game. You just can't believe it. He was leading the entire tournament in so many categories. Outdrove everybody. His iron play, he was just dialing them right in, really nice and tight, and yeah, just great putting display. Just so many things were just right with his game, and it must be so nice when your game all comes together like that, especially over 4 rounds. Harris English, had a really spectacular golf tournament himself. Ended up shooting 19 under and playing really great. You and I actually talked about him when we did the breakdown on Wednesday. I said that I had him in my DraftKings lineup, and you said, oh, really good pick to have Harris English. He's playing some phenomenal golf. And any other week, he ends up winning this tournament. Yeah, I was impressed by Harris English, but 11 strokes back, he was definitely playing for second place.
Yeah, his short game is just phenomenal, Harris's, and iron play as well. 19 under, yeah, is going to be threatening the lead any other year for sure. Maybe even win it. But yeah, 11 shot victory by DJ is just incredible. Definitely overshadows all the other great play that was out there, but hats off to him.
Yeah. Well, DJ's now number one in the world. Took over from John Rahm. He's number one in the FedEx Cup standings going into the second week, the BMW Championship this coming week. $1.7 million check, and one of the front runners for that $15 million purse after East Lake. So the top 70 players made it in. It was interesting to see who was going to make that top 70. There was, some guys fell out, some guys made it. Louis Oosthuizen was one of the guys they were really focusing a ton of attention on, because he was right in there, possibly missing out, possibly making it. It's kind of fun. That is one aspect of the playoffs. It's always interesting because you're always looking at the top of the leaderboard, but they're also looking at those guys, the five from 65 to 70 and 70 to 75, watching those guys. Kind of a cool aspect, isn't it?
It is, and it's a little bit less confusing now with the point system, but it's still very exciting. Usti made it in on the number 70. What a great play! Even he had to birdie the last hole to make that. And there's so many players. Like, it's not just you have to play well; other players have to play not so well, or it's just a lot of dynamic there. It's very exciting, and it's going to pinch down again. So it just funnels it right down, right to East Lake. It's going to be such an exciting finish.
Yeah. Well, it's top 70 make it into the BMW Championship that starts on Thursday, and then the top 30 only make it into the Tour Championship that happens at East Lake. Some of the biggest golfers that aren't going to continue on in the playoffs. Obviously, Brooks Koepka had to withdraw from this past week's tournament due to some knee and hip injuries that have lingered for a while. He's not in. Phil Mickelson just missed out. He ended up finishing just a couple of spots out in the 75th place. More about Phil in a few minutes. I want to talk about his Champions Tour debut, which will be coming up this Thursday. Justin Rose missed out. And Jordan Spieth was another guy that, definitely thought Jordan would be in there, as this year started winding down. I thought Jordan Spieth would be, but not there. Some of the other guys on the top of the leaderboard that are looking really good going into this second week of the playoffs. Daniel Berger ended up solo third. Kevin Kisner and Scotty Scheffler both shot 17. We mentioned Scheffler, 59 course record. Wow, what a phenomenal weekend for him. And he's been really good. He ended up having to use a different caddy because his caddy was injured. And he still had a really good showing. Man, that 59 was spectacular when you saw the highlights of that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. He played really well in making that it was an two putt from about 80 plus feet on that last hole to get the 59, which that was a great two putt. That was from a different area code almost. Like, that was just unreal. And bounced back even after the next day. He shot a 67 following up that 59, which that's tough to follow up a low round with another low round. But yeah, he was right in there. Played phenomenal.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah. No, it's great to see, these 59s. All of a sudden, the Golf Channel usually puts on the bottom corner #59 watch, and you start thinking, oh man, there's the possibility. There's only been 158 ever in the history of golf, and I think this is the 1259. Man, I thought DJ was going to do it though. I had to race in and watch that last, the last nine of that thing. I can't believe he didn't shoot better than 60, but still a spectacular opening Friday. Did you get to see much of that live?
I saw a little bit of it. Unreal. Like, he jumped out to that, such a great start, and makes the turn at 27. Birdies 10 and 11. You're thinking, oh geez, like, how low can you go? And still plays great golf, but just couldn't get that last birdie to get that 59, which is just proof how hard it is to shoot that low. only 13 sub 60 rounds, like you said, with Furyk with the 58. It's a very tough number. It's a very psychological number. All these players could go out birdie 18 holes, but to to do that in a row, or just to get a 12, 13 under par is just, it's very tough.
Yeah, yeah, very tough. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean it's tough. I think in our lifetime we're gonna see, you know, somebody shooting the low 50s. I really do. These guys are just getting so amazing. You know, for Dustin Johnson to go out and get birdie eagle, to be, you know, 6 under after 4 holes. You know, I think legitimately, I think a golfer has a shot to get a birdie or an eagle on, you know, almost the whole entire 18. I think that's going to happen in our lifetime. I think somebody's going to shoot mid 50s, and, you know, somebody's going to better that. And, you know, we're going to see somebody shooting in the low 50s. Do you think I'm right?
Absolutely. I think especially with no crowds, you just that pressure is eliminated. I was watching the press conference with Tiger Woods after round 4 there, and he had said something similar where, you know, fans are like trying to grab stuff, like trying to grab your hat, trying to grab your glove out of your pocket, yelling in your backswing, all this stuff. And this constant, just that sort of atmosphere is gone. You can kind of relax and play the game. That's going to make a huge factor. It takes a lot of the pressure off, especially for some of these players that haven't played in front of these big crowds. You're going to get a lot less pressure, a lot more free flowing swing. I think you're right. You're going to see someone go very, very low, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, you do see some really, really, really phenomenal runs. You know, guys will get 6, 7 birdies in a row. You know, they're just, you know, when we see Dustin Johnson shoot 30 under par, you know, for a tournament, you know, somebody's just gonna get dialed in every week. And you know, it happens, you know, weekly, where we're just like, holy cow, what, you know, where did that come from this guy? Some guys struggle coming in, some guys are playing consistent golf, and then all of a sudden, boom, they win a tournament and dominate. But you know, Dustin Johnson has such a complete game when he's on with all of them. You know, we see this kind of performance. We used to see it with Tiger Woods when he won the Masters by 12 shots. You know, he just is in a different stratosphere than all the other golfers. And there have been a lot more, you know, 59s, and you say Furyk's 58 in the last little while. But you know, I look at the game and I think, you know, almost every hole seems to be birdieable. And you know, those par fives, you know, most of them have shots at eagles, almost every par five. And I think, you know, somebody's going to shoot an 18 under, and, you know, it's going to put it at, you know, at a point where it's impossible to ever break it. You know, there's going to be a point where there's no way, you know, there's no way this record can ever be broken. But yeah, I'm surprised that in the history of golf, there's only 158 and 12 59s now. So, but yeah, it's fun. It adds a lot of drama to a tournament. You know, you start hearing whispers, you start seeing it on social media, and you want to race to the TV and watch, you know, his historic moment like that. It was cool for me. I had to race home and you know, watch DJ play the rest of that round. And usually a Friday, you keep your eye on it, but you're not glued to the TV as much as you are on a Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't expect someone to, like you say, go 6 under through 4. That's unheard of. The last few weeks, the courses have been playing a little bit softer, which is nice. So you're going to see a lot of birdies. The weather's just been damp enough where those greens aren't as lightning fast or as firm. You're not getting those firm bounces. Memorial was probably the last time that the courses were playing firm. So you're going to get those very, very low scores. It's really exciting to see when we can hit a shot from 200 plus yards and get it to stop on a dime. It's you're really going to have some low scores.
Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, definitely. One of the things that was a little crazy was another weather delay. Since the restart, you and I have talked a lot about weather delays, and lightning has you know, come into play quite often. It came into play again this time, and they were showing some shots where, man, it looked so dark out there. And thinking, man, can they do it? They only had the leaders only had a couple holes left to play, and the PGA official came in and said, "Oh no, it's only going to be 25 minutes once we get the restart." But imagine having to sit, and know that you're going to win this tournament. There was no way he wasn't going to win it, but to have to come in on a Monday and finish it off, it would have been pretty tough for on most of these guys. But yeah, these weather delays have happened so often since this restart, haven't they?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Just on the weekends, mostly, the weather just seems to roll in, and kind of right at a interesting part in the tournament too, where players got some momentum coming into the back nine, and then you got to sit for an hour or whatever it is, and that can be very tough, especially a different atmosphere with the big crowds and the way you got to social distance around too. It's not, you don't have that same sort of camaraderie as you would before the COVID, but. Yeah, it's crazy how many times it's happened, that delay.
I know. Yeah, it's shocking. I'm amazed. Yeah, I guess just that part of the world just gets a lot of lightning in late summer, and yeah, it's been happening week after week. And you see some big, powerful lightning strikes, and you think, oh man, get off the course. Hey, we don't want big bad incident. And yeah, but it has been crazy. John Rahm ended up having a good tournament. Obviously, just. Number 2 in the world now, though, shot 16 under, tied with Webb Simpson. Really good on the leaderboard. He's looking great as the playoffs roll on. Justin Thomas didn't have a great tournament, but still sits second in the FedEx Cup. Colin Morikawa came in number 2 and missed his second cut. Just something seemed wrong with his game for some reason this weekend.
Yeah, that was very surprising. I thought he would have played. I thought he was going to play very well. But yeah, that's just how funny the game is. Something's off a little bit and you just don't quite get it going. And not that he played horrible, just not good enough to make the weekend.
Yeah. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy made the cut, but didn't fare too well over the weekend. Showed a fun shot of them sitting at a picnic table having lunch, discussing their tournament as a whole. I was amazed at some of the meltdowns that Rory had. I think he got a few. I think he got a couple triple bogeys in a row, and just didn't seem to have it. It was always nice to see those guys paired together, but they weren't playing their best golf.
No, that was a great pairing for the weekend. But yeah, McIlroy just hasn't quite had it going this year since the restart. He hasn't played horrible, but he just hasn't played good either. And he's even said that something's just not quite right with his swing there. But Tiger, that was a pretty good performance by him. He had a good. He had a 60. What did he have? 66 there on Sunday, that was a nice round. Just didn't quite have it on Saturday, but he had flashes of old Tiger throughout the week, so he's looking pretty good.
Yeah. I hope he can keep teeing it up and being up there. He ends up usually having like a good round and then not so good round and then a great round, and he's just got to get a little more consistent, and we'll see him close up to the top of the leaderboard like we have a lot over his career. I talked a little bit about Phil Mickelson. He missed the cut, and so he won't be. I think this is the first time he's missed in 13 years. Going on, to the second leg of the playoffs. So he's going to make his Champions debut. He turned 50 in June, and he's going to go to the Charles Schwab Series, the Ozarks National. Heavy favorite, 2-1 odds. He's going to win this. Great field, though. I looked at a lot of the guys that are teeing it up. Steve Stricker, Bernard Longer, who's always a really great Champions player. Ernie Els, Jim Furyk, Mike Weir, KJ Choi. Rich Beam turned 50 on Monday, so he's making his debut as well. I think I'm going to tune into this tournament and watch quite a bit of the golf. How about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty good field. A lot of those players turning 50 now, and all those ones we grew up watching, they're competing again, and they can still compete on the regular tour. So it's always nice to see.
Yeah, well, Jim Furyk, the Mr. 58, and Ernie Els, he's had a few tournaments. He's played really well. Mike Weir has looked great since his since he's been able to get onto the over 50 tour, and I'm super impressed with him. Rich Beam, PGA champion winner and great golfer, finally gets an opportunity to tee it up there. And yeah, I'm excited for this tournament. And yeah, I can't believe all these guys that we cheered on for many years in the PGA Tour. Getting to compete at this Champions Tour, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So my eyes will be on the playoffs as well this coming week, but that tournament as well. The women had their major over in Scotland, and a girl was 304th in the world coming into the tournament, shocked the world and won the tournament. Only 4 players under par. She ended up shooting a -7. And yeah, did you see some of the highlights of her being able to shock the world?
Unfortunately, I did. I had read a bit about it. Unbelievable to come out of essentially nowhere and win the major like that that's just incredible.
She had no status on the tour. She was getting in on qualifying and sponsors exemptions. She's got full status now. Sophia Popov is her name. She's originally a German national. Just played phenomenal golf. Ended up getting I think it was a 3-shot win, and yeah, she had that was her first tour title. She had won some mini tour events earlier in the year and got an opportunity to get into this Royal Troon course. But yeah, congratulations on her. That's, you and I have talked about the spectacular thing about golf is, you get an opportunity and sometimes these people seize it and change their life. She was able to cash a huge check, and it's just an incredible story, a really neat story in the world of golf.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the doors that opens for her too are just she's set now in her golf career. That's amazing to see.
She actually was caddying at an LPGA event 3 weeks ago. She was caddying. Can you believe that? She was caddying 3 weeks ago.
What a great game. It's a good equalizer, right?
Unbelievable. Awesome. 304th on the women's rankings. I'm not even sure how many that they do rank you on. Nobody's ever won a major with a lower ranking since they were created in 2006. She's 27, just crying, just so spectacularly happy. She ended up 2 strokes better than the rest of the field. As I said, tough golf course. Every time we see the men play Royal Troon, very few guys are getting under par. She shot 7 under for the weekend, and yeah, try to find some highlights, viewers and listeners. Yeah, just really incredible story. I don't, I did, just blows me away that somebody, that low ranked and, just a caddy a few weeks ago can, pick it up and suddenly win a major like that. It's just, rags to riches story.
Yeah, that's beautiful to see for sure. And I'm sure the no crowds is probably playing a factor into that as well, kind of taking a little bit of that pressure and that noise and atmosphere that's around a major. Just be able to play a little more relaxed golf is really nice to see.
Tell me how you did in your DraftKings. Do you have it up there? Can you?
Yeah, the DraftKings. I did okay. I had three bets in, and 2 of them came in. So, but nothing high ranking, but enough to keep it going. Anyways, I had DJ, Rom, Reed, Noren, Hughes, and List in the one group that I did the best. List was the only one not to make the cut, but Mackenzie Hughes played very well, and Noren jumped up. He's now within the 70, being able to play the BMW. He jumped from 78 to 47 in the rankings, so he had a very good week. Nice,
that's great. Yeah, well, I'm going to go over my list. I had 2 classic lineups, and they both doubled my money. I went into double or nothing tournaments. I ended up with a score of 537.5 with my top lineup in the classic, and ended up having Harris English. He was my top guy. Scotty Scheffler, Webb Simpson, Tiger Woods, Tyrrell Hatton, and Billy Horschel. Horschel unfortunately didn't make the cut, but I still doubled my money, which was great. Obviously, really nice to have Harris English in there, second place. Scotty Scheffler in third. I don't know, sorry, tied for fourth. Webb Simpson had a good showing. Tyrrell Hatton was great. Tiger Woods played pretty solid, so that was good. I even doubled my money in my other classic lineup, and that was a lot less successful. I was only 427.5 points, but I was able to still double my money there. Harris English was my top guy. Then I had Alex Noren, Justin Thomas, Rich Rowensky, and then Adam Hadwin and Colin Morikawa, which who both missed the cut. But still nice to double my money. In my tiers, I doubled my money as well. So I had my top golfer was Scott Scheffler. Then I had John Rahm, 110.5 points for John Rahm, which was great. Patrick Reed, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and Tony Finau. So yeah, pretty solid lineup worked out for me there. So, and then in my single groups, I ended up doubling my money there. That was first and second round. I didn't play in the third and fourth round for my single rounds, but yeah, successful enough to double my money. If I could keep doing that every week, the whole PGA Tour, I'll be happy with that. And yeah, it's always fun to play DraftKings. Just go to DraftKings.com and yeah, you can put a lineup together. You're able to do it at a very low level, even free lineups, and then you can go and put some money in, and you can face large groups. You can face your buddies. You can go one-on-one against people, however you want to do it. I like going in the double or nothing. You just have to finish in the top 50%, and you're able to double your money, which is yeah, it's a really good way to play and have a lot of fun doing it. You did a few parlays and stuff. They didn't quite work out. Do you remember some of the details on the parlays?
I don't really have it. I don't have that right in front of me, but yeah, there was just it was very close. I was surprised. There was 3 ties had happened in that day, so that ends up being a push. So there was a lot of close rounds. There was no blowouts in any of it. Most of them were 1 or 2 shots either side of it. So everyone's playing very well. The matchups are very tough to negotiate. Who's going to come in on top on some of these heads-up matches? But yeah, the DraftKings is great as well. You have a lot of different options as far as what way you want to play it. You can go as far as shooting the works and try to win $500,000 against whatever that is, 10,000 players, and yeah, it's exciting. Or you just double up your money, and the betting you can just from small to large. It's a nice setup.
Yeah, no, it's really great. I love it. And it makes sports a lot more exciting, actually. And I don't have to have a lot of money in the game to actually just make it fun. I'm just a competitive person, and even if I'm playing a free free group, maybe there's 20 people, maybe there's 100 people. It's still fun to see how you do. Try to spend some time making the picks, look ahead at some of the some of the trends and some of the inconsistencies of the golfers. I do recommend always trying to find golfers that make cuts, because the 4 rounds of golf is a lot better than 2 rounds of golf. You're going to score on birdies and pars and things like that. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. Just use your game sense, as they say in the gambling terms, and don't go too crazy with the money. But yeah, it adds a lot of excitement to the game and makes golf a lot of fun. So I do want to mention some of our partners before we call it a day here. Anchor's been a really great partner and sponsor for Complete Sports Media. They've been really fantastic at posting on multiple podcast platforms for us. They say it's the easiest way to make a podcast, and I agree with that assessment. They've been a really fantastic partner for us with this podcast. We also have a partner in Forever Living. This is called the Aloe Vera Company. They grow and manufacture aloe vera, and all these products are for health and beauty. Fantastic product line. I've tried a ton of them. Really recommend going and checking out Forever Living. You just could go on to Complete Sports Media verberil.com, and you'll be able to find a lot of details. And if some of these products excite you, you can purchase them right directly from the website here. And finally, our other partner and sponsor is Verberil. Verberil is a hockey equipment and apparel company. They're an industry leader in technology, performance, and value. And right now they're featuring the Mercury V350. It's the lightest, most balanced stick on the market. It's very explosive and very durable, creating a lot of buzz on the market. And at only 350 grams, it's the lightest stick. A lot of people want that light, amazingly durable stick. And here it is. Just go to verberil.com or come onto my website, and there'll be a lot of details for you there, and you can purchase apparel and equipment from Verberil. So yeah, well, man, Dustin Johnson, as I said off the top, how can you say enough about this guy? 22nd win. We saw Brooks Koepka give him some grief a couple of weeks back on the PGA Tour and say, you know, he's only got one major win, and you know, I don't think I got to worry about him when I've got four. He proved Brooks wrong again this week, and had a spectacular performance. Man, you know, this will be something that you'll look back on. He, you know, probably one of the most spectacular tournaments anybody's ever had in the history of golf. You know, do you see that yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Within the FedEx Cup for sure. That's one of the top performances. Hard to say, but it was almost a disappointing 60 for him on the Friday, finishing out with all those pars, with 7 pars there. But what a performance! His touch was deadly all week. The iron play phenomenal. Just had it dialed right in. Bunker play unreal as well. Like, he just had it on all cylinders. Couple really nice putts that he'd make that with a lot of break, and just the touch, just rolling them right in. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. Golf is an amazing game. You know, it shocks me that a guy can shoot a couple of 80s only a few weeks ago. Have to withdraw from a tournament because he's playing so poorly, and suddenly turned it around. Do you see him being able to back up this with a good tournament this coming week?
Geez, I hope so. It's so hard to say. It's so unpredictable, this game, like you're saying. It'd be amazing if he does. I really would like to see that same sort of performance if he can just put that pedal to the metal and keep going. But he's got a lot of competition out there. Rahm's been playing very well. Great finish yesterday. I expect him to play very well at the BMW.
Yeah, definitely. This Olympia Fields, it's in Olympia, Illinois. It's always a fantastic tournament. Yeah, it'll be the top 70 golfers in the FedEx standings. They really have an amazing field every year. It's going to be great. Justin Thomas going in. Yeah, he's second place. Didn't quite have it this weekend. Do you expect he's going to be able to get back up to the top of the leaderboard this coming weekend?
Yeah, I think so. He showed some glimpses of some magic there over the week, but just didn't quite have it going the whole 4 rounds there. How can you not? He's right up there. He was number 1. It's such a funny game. I'd expect to see him to play very well next week as well.
We've got Tiger and Rory teeing it up, which will be really nice and fun to watch. Yeah, what do you expect out of them?
Well, Tiger, he just can't quite get 4 rounds together. He plays very well a couple of the rounds for sure, or have a good front 9, bad back 9 kind of thing. It's going to be a tough stretch for him. He's got a lot of golf coming up next couple of weeks, or next 4 weeks, I guess. That yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he can play consistent through those weeks. But he looked very good, especially on Sunday there. He had some great form. As far as Rory goes, just he's right around that even par, couple under kind of game. He hasn't really lit it up, but hasn't really fallen off either. So you never know. Like, you didn't expect Dustin Johnson to shoot 30 under this week, so you never know what's going to happen next week. But he does have the game, but whether he brings it will be a different story.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's strange. He was world number one until recently, but yeah, something's changed. He's fallen off a little bit, and yeah, just doesn't seem as consistent as he was earlier in the season. So, yeah, Dustin Johnson was a 11 shot victory at the Northern Trust. Probably odds-on favorite again. There are some past BMW winners who made it to the field this week. Mark Leishman won it in 2017. He'll be teeing it up. Jason Day was the 2015 champion. Billy Horschel, 2014, and Rory McIlroy won it in 2012. So they've got some experience and some good memories of this course. This course is located about 35 minutes outside of Chicago. It's a 36-hole facility. A ton of history with this course. It was the 5-time host of the Western Open on the PGA Tour, and it's had major championships there. Most recently was the 2003 U.S. Open, won by past Fedex Cup champion Jim Furyk, who we've mentioned a few times today. They also had the Women's PGA Championship in 2017. Of course, it's been around since in 1915, so love seeing old courses like that. It's pretty tough. I've heard some golfers refer to it as a big brute, and it's been a lot of challenge. Do you remember some of the aspects of this course?
I can't quite recall too much of it, but I remember it being very challenging in and around the greens. That's where you're going to really see some players with that short game touch, like Harris English. I expect him to play very well there next week because his short game all week was just nice, deadly touch with a lot of stuff. And Noren as well. He's looking very good as well.
Yeah, they have 2 par 5s on the course that are longer than 600 yards. The opening hole is a par 5, which is always kind of cool. I like when courses start with a par 5. Guys get birdies and eagles right away and start the round off pretty cool. There is a par 3 that's over 250 yards. So those are really challenging par 3s. Usually you'll see a fair amount of bogeys on holes like that because guys have to take some very long irons to hit into there. They've really lengthened this course, pretty crazy. This BMW Championship, it does give the final opportunity to earn a spot in the 30-man field for the finale of the playoffs at Eastlake. This is the second year where the number 1 seed will start the Tour Championship at 10 under par, and he'll have a 2-shot lead before the tournament even starts. So Dustin Johnson's put himself in a really good position. We've got Justin Thomas at number 2, Colin Morikawa at number 3. Some guys that'll have an opportunity to start with a lead. That's kind of cool. You said earlier that they've had some strange formats and hard to follow, but this is kind of an easy one where the guy's minus 10 immediately, 2-shot lead, and then down and down as you come into that 30-man field. I like it when there's no cuts. I've always disliked golf for that aspect. I really think that the people should be able to see all the golfers tee it up all 4 rounds, and this is nice that there's no cut these next 2 weeks. We're not going to miss any of the guys through the 4 rounds, and even we saw it with Morikawa. He ended up shooting, I think he shot a 11 under at the PGA Championship over the last 2 rounds and won it. Just got in on the number. We see a lot of guys just get in on that cut number and have a spectacular, great weekend and contend near the top. So it's kind of nice. Do you like that too, that there's no cut?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot can happen over that weekend. You're within 10 shots, you have a chance going in, teeing it up on Saturday. So it's nice to see you're gonna have a lot more players in it, and they're there. They don't have to have the pressure of making that cut and maybe be able to swing a little bit freer.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it just will ease the pressure of that. Obviously, they'll all be clamoring to try to get in that top 30 because there's huge money on the line. I'm going to I hope we're going to do something on Wednesday to do a little preview. But I'll go down the list. $15 million for first prize, and then some really big checks in the top, 20, 30. That's amazing that FedEx is able to put up this much money for golf. And even though, the fans aren't there, they're still, huge purses and a lot to play for. Yeah, it's pretty neat when a guy wins it. He wins, usually he wins that, that finale. He gets a couple $1 million for winning it, and then he gets to sign that big 10, $15 million check. Man, the money that they're playing for these days is just incredible.
It's crazy how much how much is out there for these guys, and that they can continue to do it without the fan support too. That's amazing to see that they're still putting out those prizes.
Yeah, no, I love it. Tiger Woods is the reason why these golfers are making so much money, hands down. He brought popularity and notoriety to golf, and more money than they've ever seen by far. You look at some of the career earnings of some of the great players of our of the generations before, Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus, two of the greatest players to ever play. And some guys are cashing checks that dwarf their career earnings. It's insane. It's unbelievable. I'd like to see the transition, how much Arnold Palmer was winning $15,000 for a victory. How much would that translate to these days money? But I just don't think it would even compare, even the way they're going. I don't think anybody saw golf hitting this type of popularity and these types of money. It was always dwarfing team sports compared to the superstars there, but now these guys are making spectacular money, and I love it. I love seeing that a guy has an opportunity to make a couple $1 million on a putt. Imagine that, life-changing putt, giving you a few more $1 million. It's pretty cool that golf has become so popular.
Absolutely. I'm sure old Tom Morris there would be spinning in his grave. We saw what these guys are making. Quite a change over a century. Like, just amazing what the game has gone through, and then moving it forward even in the last couple of decades. It's amazing.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to look ahead to this BMW Championship at Olympia Fields, just outside of Chicago. It's going to be a spectacular tournament as usual. I'm glad you all had an opportunity to see this championship that just passed. Dustin Johnson was phenomenal, and always really great to see a golfer that's that dialed in and playing that well. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to see some spectacular golf this coming weekend as well. We're getting to the cream of the crop, some of the best players that are playing the best golf in 2020. Yeah, thanks as much as usual for joining us, Casey. That was a great breakdown, and let's do something on Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, that sounds great, Darren. Thanks for having me, and I'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay, take care. Enjoy the sailboat. I'm glad you're getting out on the water, and hope you get out on the golf course as well too. Yeah, let's have a great week ahead, and yeah, can't wait to see you on Wednesday. Cheers.
Sounds great, man. Take care.
Okay, all right, all the best. Bye for now. Okay, yeah, fun as usual. Yeah, time goes by so fast every time we have Casey O'Donnell on, and man, yeah, this golf this year, 2020, has just been spectacular. And I don't know if it's because of the fans. Casey pointed that out, that not having the fans there, it takes a lot of pressure off. Especially guys like Tiger. He's just been swarmed by fans since 1997, when he made his PGA Tour debut, and he's had to try to negotiate his way through hordes of fans wanting to touch him, to get autographs from him constantly, and yeah, he was able to hold up to it for so many years. But yeah, not all these guys are wanting that type of attention all the time, and it's got to be hard. Casey and I mentioned, sometimes stepping up to that first tee, and there's a couple of groups there and a marshal, and you just really want to just try to hit it right down the middle, and you feel some pressure. Imagine having to do it in front of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of fans. That's why these guys are paid the way they're paid. as well as they're paid. And yeah, we mentioned the money there. It's becoming spectacular and phenomenal. Yeah, it was a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the golf as much as we did, and I hope you enjoyed this breakdown too. Thanks so much to our partners and sponsors, and thanks Casey O'Donnell as usual with his insight and great breakdowns. So enjoy the rest of your week ahead. And yeah, keep tuning in to Complete Sports Media's podcast for great insight into the sports that you love. Take care of yourself. Love you lots. Bye for now.